Hello guys, in this video we are enhancing the user interface, UI, of a tic-tac-toe game can be a transformative process, as it is not only about improving the visual appeal but also ensuring that the game becomes more engaging, intuitive, and accessible for players. This process begins by evaluating the current design of the game, understanding how users interact with it, and identifying areas for improvement. By improving elements such as layout, colors, fonts, buttons, and overall interaction flow, you can create a more appealing and enjoyable experience for users. It is important to consider the type of users that will interact with the game, as well as the platform they will use, be it desktop, mobile, or web. This evaluation forms the foundation for improving the user interface in ways that resonate with both casual and more dedicated players. The goal should always be to create a smoother, more enjoyable experience that enhances the gameplay, while making the game's design visually engaging. One of the first and most significant areas of improvement for the tic-tac-toe UI is the game board itself. The default layout often consists of a basic grid with simple X and O markings. While functional, this design is quite bare and can be enhanced through customization. Adding smoother lines and more vibrant colors to the grid can help bring attention to the game area. Instead of traditional straight lines, a modern UI may opt for rounded edges, subtle animations, or even dynamic borders that highlight the current move or state of the game. These enhancements can also introduce a sense of interaction. For example, when a player clicks or taps on a space, the grid can visually respond with a ripple effect or a gentle zoom. A more polished game board design can contribute to a more inviting and professional user interface, giving players the impression that they are engaging with a modern, thoughtfully designed app. When considering how to improve the UI of a tic-tac-toe game, color plays a critical role in creating an immersive experience. Colors not only define the aesthetic of the game but also influence the mood and emotions of the player. For instance, bright and playful colors may make the game feel more casual, whereas more subdued or contrasting colors could make the game feel more competitive. The use of color should be deliberate, ensuring it is in harmony with the overall theme. For instance, adding a custom color palette can break away from the typical black and white grid, offering different themes such as vibrant hues, pastels, or even dark mode for players who prefer low-light environments. Moreover, colors can be used effectively to indicate the state of the game, such as highlighting the winning combination with a color change or signaling a draw with a distinct shade. By considering color psychology, the UI can elicit different feelings in the player, such as excitement, focus, or relaxation, making the game more emotionally engaging. Typography also plays a major role in enhancing the user interface of a tic-tac-toe game. The choice of font can contribute significantly to the overall feel and usability of the game. While a simple font might suffice, using a font that is modern, easily readable, and even playful can make the game feel more personalized and fun. It's important to ensure that the font is large enough to be easily read on all devices and screen sizes. Additionally, you can experiment with different font weights, such as bold for the X and O markers, to make the characters stand out more clearly. Fonts should also be consistent with the theme of the game, and it can be useful to implement dynamic fonts, where the size or style changes based on the game state. For example, the font can grow when the player is on a winning streak or shrink if the game is nearing its end. Such subtle adjustments create a sense of progression and reward within the interface. Another aspect of UI enhancement is improving the game's controls and interaction elements. In a simple game like tic-tac-toe, the game's control elements usually consist of the grid spaces and possibly a few buttons, such as restart or exit. However, these can be made more intuitive and accessible through thoughtful design. The use of large, easy-to-click buttons, even in smaller mobile devices, ensures players don't have difficulty interacting with the game. Additionally, interactive elements such as an animated Start New Game button or a confirmation dialog for restarting the game can add a layer of polish. Introducing game menus or settings that allow users to choose difficulty levels, themes, or sound effects can also enhance the player experience. This added complexity, if implemented with ease of use in mind, makes the interface feel more comprehensive without overwhelming the user. Animations are another critical enhancement that can improve the visual appeal and user experience of a tic-tac-toe game. Simple animations, such as moving the X or O markers into place with smooth transitions, create a more satisfying and fluid experience for players. Animation can also be applied to the game's win condition, where the winning row, column, or diagonal line could animate in a way that draws attention to the accomplishment. Moreover, an animated background that subtly shifts in color or changes based on the game state adds a layer of dynamism to the design. Transition animations between game states, such as when a player wins, or a new round begins, can make the overall game feel less static and more lively. These animations not only make the game visually appealing but also reinforce the sense of progression, offering immediate feedback to the player. In addition to visual enhancements, accessibility is a critical component when redesigning the UI of tic-tac-toe. Accessibility ensures that all players, regardless of their abilities, can enjoy the game. This can be achieved by implementing features such as adjustable font sizes, color contrast options, and alternative text descriptions for visually impaired players. Additionally, voice feedback can be integrated, allowing players to receive auditory cues when placing their moves or when the game state changes. This is particularly important for players who have difficulty seeing or reading text on the screen. It's also essential to consider keyboard or gesture controls for users with physical disabilities, making sure the game is playable without relying solely on mouse clicks or taps. By adding accessibility features, you ensure that the game is inclusive, appealing to a broader audience. One of the more advanced UI enhancements for tic-tac-toe involves integrating multiplayer functionality, either locally or online. If the game offers an online multiplayer mode, the interface should be designed to seamlessly handle the interaction between players. This can include a real-time scoreboard, player avatars, or chat functionality for communication. A lobby system could also be implemented where players can search for matches, invite friends, or join random games. The multiplayer interface should focus on ease of use, allowing players to easily navigate between different game modes and matches. To avoid cluttering the screen, pop-up notifications or a side panel could be used to display relevant information like match status or player statistics. In this way, the interface adapts to support both solo and multiplayer experiences, making the game feel more robust and community-oriented. A crucial aspect of UI enhancement for tic-tac-toe is incorporating feedback loops and error handling within the game. Players should receive clear, intuitive feedback on their actions.